In-camera HDR. High dynamic range imaging, or HDR, is a technique for recording more detail in bright highlights and dark shadow areas of a scene. Achieving this effect used to require sophisticated computer software. Now, the EOS 6D offers two distinct methods to achieve this in-camera. The HDR settings take three bracketed images of the same scene, so the camera has a normal, bright, and dark file to work with. The three images are then processed into one final image in camera. Backlight HDR is a special scene mode that is most helpful in situations with high key backlighting or any scene with harsh, high contrast lighting. It is an easy method that automatically produces a finished HDR image after taking three bracketed images. The process is simple and almost entirely transparent. Set the camera's mode dial to the SCN setting, Special Scene Mode. Press the Quick Control button to see which special scene mode the camera is currently set to. Use the top main dial or the quick control dial to toggle through the different scene modes until you reach HDR backlight control. Tap the shutter button halfway to clear the LCD monitor. Now, when you fully press the shutter button, the camera will take three consecutive images, one correctly exposed, one underexposed, and one overexposed. The images are automatically combined into one final HDR image. HDR mode allows you more potential control. Set the camera to the exposure mode of your choice: program mode, shutter priority, aperture priority, manual, or either of the two camera user settings. Press the menu button. Use the top main dial or the multi-controller to highlight the fourth shooting menu tab. Use the quick control dial to highlight HDR mode. Press Set. To enable HDR shooting, highlight Adjust Dynamic Range and press Set. There are four options for exposure range. In auto mode, the camera reads the scene's brightness information and automatically calculates the difference between each of the bracketed exposures. The next three options allow you to manually choose either a narrow range of exposure values or a wide range. Press Set to activate. A wider range is generally more useful when shooting in bright sunlight or other high contrast conditions. The continuous HDR option lets you choose whether to shoot one composited HDR image or continue to shoot a series of additional HDR images. The camera default setting is one final HDR image only. In this setting, the camera reverts back to ordinary shooting after three quick bracketed shots are taken and one finished HDR image is recorded. If you want to take more than one final HDR image, highlight Continuous HDR. Press Set. Highlight every shot and press Set. Now, each time you press the shutter, the camera will take the three bracketed images and produce a finished HDR image. To exit HDR mode and return to normal shooting, go to Adjust Dynamic Range and highlight Disable HDR. Then press Set. Auto Image Align corrects minor composition changes among handheld bracketed exposures. It will align them in the final image. We recommend using it if you're using the HDR feature and hand holding the camera. Select Auto Image Align. Highlight Enable and press Set. Now, each time you press the shutter, the camera will take the three bracketed images and produce a finished, aligned HDR image. Keep in mind that this may cause slight cropping of the finished image. If precise composition of your final HDR image is important, it is recommended to use a tripod and turn Auto Image Align off. In-camera HDR options open the door to creative possibilities without requiring time at the computer. The EOS 6D provides 2 quick ways to shoot images with more detail in bright and dark areas.